Hi everybody, I want to talk to you about ways we can sneak extra protein into our day. So the normal American diet, we eat a lot of protein at night and not enough in the morning beforehand. And that's one of the reasons we get so hungry. So if you can sneak some protein in all day long, then you won't have as much hunger and it'll help you increase your muscle mass and your overall just be a little healthier. Let's start with meal number one, coffee. So I'll put just the top portion of this is to your liking. Use it like a creamer. Has a bunch of protein in it. It doesn't have a lot of calories. To give you a good little boost for the morning of the day. Drink your coffee and you'll be good for a little bit and not be hungry. Or if I'm having a Saturday and I want to have something fancy, I have the sugar-free flavor. I'll just put a little bit of half and half. You can put sugar in or you don't have to, but that way you have a treat and you still have your coffee and you don't get bored with it. So I like to alternate depending on how I'm feeling. All right, step 2, coffee's at 7, breakfast is at 8. So I like to get the non-fat Greek yogurt. I usually get the Kroger's brand. It just happened to be on sale. Half scoop of whey isolate, half scoop of collagen peptide, just one, not both. Half cup, so just a couple spoonfuls of the Greek yogurt, teaspoon of the honey. Mix it all together. I actually don't like Greek yogurt, but it makes it palatable. It's just a couple spoonfuls, and you got about 50 grams of protein when you get done with this. See how we're eating a little bit every couple hours so that you don't get too hungry and overeat. I like to add a teaspoon of honey, a little bit of oatmeal, maybe a couple raisins, not too many because they're high in sugar. And then there's breakfast number 2. So after you have whatever you brought for lunch about 10:30 or 11, then you got to move into you're going to get snack time, right? So cottage cheese, not everybody likes it, but it's really high in protein. And I like to mix mine. But guess what? Natural sugar. So if you get a natural fruit, cantaloupes, plums, oranges, something that you can get at the grocery store, and mix it with just a small amount of cottage cheese. I usually get like less than 1 serving size, less than half a cup. And it'll keep you from getting hungry. You get a little bit of sweetness for your sweet tooth, and then you also get a little protein for your muscles. So I always carry an apple every day no matter what because it has a lot of fiber in it. It's got a little sugar in it. If you start getting a sugar craving, the apple will help with it. This apple's probably about 100 calories just looking at it, but it's worth it because it'll keep you from getting hungry and going for the chocolate. These are my go-to protein snacks. I carry these everywhere I go. So I like to keep some kind of jerky. Doesn't have to be a certain kind or another. Just read the label. I like to keep a bag of peanuts and trail mix. We carry these everywhere. And then protein bars. We've always used pure protein, and I've recently started trying the Quest one because it has less carbs in it. You got to be really careful with your protein bars because they can get really high in carbs. So this is, assume about 200 calories if you're getting high protein. So this beef jerky is 200 calories. These bars are about 180 calories. These nuts, 180 calories. So how do you get your protein in without getting a ton of calories? Share method. I have 3 different ways that I decrease my calorie intake and still get what I need to not get hungry. I either eat half or save half for later. I either share half with me and half for my husband, or got the kiddos. So a little bit for me and a little bit for you. We spread it out throughout everybody. So if the kid's in the car and they say, I'm hungry, and you've only been in the car for an hour, everybody has a little bit, and then it decreases the amount of stops you take on your road trip. And it keeps everybody from getting hungry, and it's good for you. So that works out really well for everyone. We take them everywhere we go. Road trips, in the lunch bags to school. Anytime that you might need a snack. Last but not least is eggs. Eggs have a lot of amino acids in them. They're really good for you, and they have a lot of protein. So some hard-boiled eggs throughout the day can also help get some protein in. It's one of those things, though, I like to mix it up so you don't get too bored of anything. In the mornings, if you're on a Saturday and you don't have to go to work, you can add a small amount of cottage cheese to increase protein, put it in 2 eggs, emulsify it, and it'll make a nice blend. You can scramble it. It really doesn't taste all that different. You put a little bit of everything bagel on it. The first time I tried it, I wasn't too sure, and now I do it all the time. So these are all the little tricks that I've picked up along the way, trying to sneak extra protein in on my meals so that I'm not so hungry all the time. Grew up in Texas, so I also grew up a little fluffy. I'm used to eating. So the protein intake has really helped decrease my hunger, and it's also helped with increasing my activity and being able to grow some muscles. If you have a cheat that you like to use, please put it in the comments because I am always looking for new ways to add on. It's important to rotate around so you don't get too bored of one thing or the other, and just keep an eye on your labels. For dinner, I eat whatever I want to. And I enjoy it. All right. Thanks, y'all. Let me know if you have any comments or if you have any suggestions. I'd love to hear them. Thanks.